Hey everyone, it's Trader Rob. New week, new chance for profits. Let's get it right after the intro. As always, nothing that I state on my channel is financial advice. Trading futures or any type of trading is risky business. Any capital that's put out there is at risk for loss. All right, so we've got a brand new week. Last couple days in February. Don't think I can turn February into green unless we have some absolute max trades here for the next couple of days. Again, I am the believer of one trade at a time. Stick to your rules, stick to your conditions, and obviously let the market obviously do what it's going to want to do. But going into the new week, Friday we took a red day. Let's take a look at Friday's trades, starting with the CL. Session 1 was a loser. Again, not trading this on the eval, but I like to still track the numbers on session 1. We got activated into a short at 8:10 in the morning. Obviously, this trade went for a loss. Second session, which I was not able to trade on Friday. I had meetings at work, so I was only able to take gold. So again, missed this trade. Would have been great for the balance on Friday, but this was a 13-tick winner. We get activated into the long right at 9:25 in the morning Central Time. Remember, in oil, I have two sessions, one from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. and the second one from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Max of 2 trades in oil per day. I would say on about 90% of the days, we do get 2 trades. Sometimes we get none. Sometimes we only get 1. In gold, which was the only trade that I was able to take, we get activated at 8:40 in the morning. We get pretty much ticked in, about 2 ticks maybe, to the short. And this thing quickly went the other direction and took me for a 22-tick loss. That brought our account to $49,905. So that's currently where we stand on the eval. Let's see if we can bring that to green. On the 15-minute Rob reversal, this is showing Friday's kind of setups. Nothing here. We get a 9:15 to the long, at least a setup. Meets my time condition, meets the pattern condition, but closes below the ADMA. No trade, no activation. Keeps you out of a pretty bad trade there. At 11:45 in the morning, we get a setup to go long, and this closes below the ADMA, so no trade there. This trade actually, I think, only runs for, said on the video on Friday, but I believe that this trade, let's see, that was only 21 points, so that would have been a loser as well. Keeps you out of a bad trade here. And then the next setup doesn't show up until about 3 o'clock, and that's way past my time condition, so there's no trade there whatsoever. Let's see what the market here is doing in the morning. So gold looks like it's just pretty much ranging. We just kind of got a breakout there to the downside. And in oil, we are trending up. We've got a leg here, leg down, leg back up. So definitely on an uptrend in oil this morning. So let's see how the markets react to our strategy this morning, and we will see if we can get here a 15-minute Rob reversal. Stick around for my trades and my day recap coming up shortly.
Order canceled.
All right, so here is our first trade for the morning. This is in gold. We get activated to the short, and as you guys can see, we get a really, really nice push, almost down to about 75% of our take profit here. And bigger size trade, we're looking for 36 ticks. That's where my stop loss is initially set, and had a small tweak that I have made to the strategy. I'll explain a little bit more at my end of day recap here, but it involves moving down my stop loss after around 70% take profit, trying to work this into an ATM strategy, but having some issues with it that I'll also explain. And shortly, I mean, we've been in a downtrend in gold. There you go. So that's where I move my stop loss just to reduce kind of some risk on a reversal. And we have news hitting at 9 a.m. Here we get into a oil trade off of on the left-hand side of the chart on
Order
a
canceled.
inside bar that we get. Have the same issue as I was having last week with my bracket orders just disappearing on me. So I manually am putting in my
Order submitted.
stop orders here. I'm kind of lucky that price action didn't go absolutely crazy. Small trade in oil, I believe it was
Order
15 or
submitted.
16 ticks. And that turns out to be a very, very quick loser in oil session 2. We didn't have a trade in session 1. Still in gold, obviously, on the right. So I'm in 2 positions, 3 micros on oil on the left and 1 E-mini on the gold in the right. And I will kind of explain to you guys my thinking behind that. So we get knocked out of oil. That was about a $51 loss, so much smaller position sizing, obviously based on February results in oil. And gold seems to, luckily it's been on the green side most of this trade, but as you guys can see, it's been flirting with that area where we initially tried to almost take full take profit, and here we got a great push.
Target filled.
All right, there you have it. And overall, a nice day of trading so far. I introduced kind of a new idea to my morning strategies, and I was back testing and kind of tinkering over the weekend with the idea of, let me bring up this gold trade here. This is a good example. This is kind of where I used it. So in gold today, we got activated at the 8:15 candle here. We got activated into a short. We actually got another inside bar right after the 8:15 candle. But as you guys know, let me take this out. As you guys know, my entry to go long would stay at the top of this inside bar, and my entry to go short would stay at the bottom of this inside bar. So there is no trade here yet on this second inside bar, or I should say the consecutive inside bar. So I am still waiting here at the 8:25 a.m. candle to see where price action is wanting to go. And finally, we get activated into the short. So that kind of explains the entry scenario there. From there, I am going to use my short position tool from TradingView, and I will put my entry where the obviously entry was at, where that red line was at before. That's my entry. And my stop loss is going to go to the top of the previous source bar, which is right here. And that gave you 36 ticks. Now, I know some people in Discord like to just keep when it's over 35 ticks, they'll keep it at 35. My rule is that anything that is 40 ticks and higher, I reduce to 35. So if it's a 36 tick trade or 38 tick trade, I will still use that stop loss to determine my take profit. So my take profit is actually 36 right there. Okay, so this trade obviously turns into a winner. We were in this trade for about an hour. The nice thing about the trade is that we were in the green the majority of the trade, which is great for the psychology, but it's still doesn't help with the, I don't want to call it anxiety, but the, trying to get to the finality of this trade. So we had news. We had high impact news at 9 a.m. this morning, which was new U.S. home sales. So I knew that at that moment we were definitely going to have some movement. It did. It actually went against us originally and then kind of came back down to us. So what am I trying to say as far as what the new idea that I have to kind of preserve trades that seem to go very close to full take profit and then will reverse on us and go for full take stop loss? Well, what I've been trying to do, and what I've been trying to do in NinjaTrader unsuccessfully as of right now, is to, once a trade hits 70% take profit, I'm not looking to go to break even, because I have back tested the shit out of that strategy, and that does not work. There has been many times where this will come and retest that range and then come back down. Granted, there's almost the same amount of time where it will go to full take profit, but the edge was still showing that the break-even trade does not work out as well. Now, what I manually back tested was, all right, let's just say that price action goes 70% in our favor. Then instead of having a 36 tick stop loss, we can reduce that in half or reduce that to 20 ticks, depending on what the trade is. An easier solution is just to save 50% across the board. Okay, and that way it kind of takes out the discretionary side of it. So then this thing would have essentially been reduced down to like 18 ticks. So you guys saw somewhere around the 9 a.m. candle, I brought down my stop loss. I brought it down manually. And this thing then obviously goes to straight full take profit literally on the tick. So exactly where all of our orders for take profit were at, that's where we then got our full take profit there of $360. Fantastic trade. So my thinking is on these plays, or on this kind of small tweak to the strategy, is that in the case where you get these strong reversals when you're so close to full take profit, where maybe liquidity has already been kind of swiped at, and it's a way to reduce the risk. I've not, and here's my issue, and I put this question out to Discord. I know in my ATM strategy that I can have, like my ATM strategy on my morning gold and my morning oil is once I get into an order, the bracket orders come up automatically and they're set to 35 tick stop loss and a 35 tick take profit. No problem. And I know that in NinjaTrader, I can set my break even to activate with a ratio. So I can have it activate at 70% of my take profit ticks. I can then bring that stop loss to either break even, or in my scenario, I would want it to be like half of the position. The issue lies on automating the ATM strategy. Well, not like in a bot. I'm just saying in the ATM strategy in NinjaTrader is that not all my trades are 35 ticks. So 35 ticks is the initial bracket order that will come out. And I will then manually adjust my stop loss to the source bar. And so obviously it would start up over here, 36 ticks, and then I would adjust my take profit to 36 ticks. The issue within NinjaTrader is that all of the break even and stop loss movement, automated movement, or in my case, what I'm looking for is a percentage, a ratio percentage, is based off of the original 35 tick stop loss and take profit. not necessarily what I put in for my stop loss manually after I adjust it. And here's another scenario. Let's just say that it's a 20 tick trade, which is very common in gold. Well, if it's set to 35 ticks and it's set to go to halfway to half stop loss or 50% of our stop loss, after it goes to 70% take profit, it's going to still be basing that off of the original ATM strategy of 35 ticks. So I kind of have to do this manually. I hate doing that because sometimes you're just kind of like eyeballing things, but it's what I did today. Obviously, it worked out, and I'm super happy that we were able to take full take profit here. But it's something that I've been looking at. I looked at it over the weekend, went back about a month and a half, and it seems to have lowered the losses on the, well, gold is in the green for February. I wish I could say the same thing about oil, but I can't. So that's what I've been working on as far as kind of reducing or managing risk a little bit. And, I guess the other scenario is that's the only thing I've got right now. So manually, I will have to kind of do it. I didn't do it in oil. It was such a small trade that, that's another condition or rule that I would probably have to set on a minimum kind of stop. But even that, if it goes to 70 or 80% take profit and reverses all the way up to halfway to stop loss, in more cases than not, it's looking to hit that full stop loss. That's just been my testing on it. I'm going to be playing around with it this week to see how it kind of performs. Obviously, today I didn't need it. Didn't need it at all, which was great. That was a fantastic trade there, $360 profit. Let's take a look at oil. Oil session 1, there was no trade. Okay, so no setup. We did get an inside bar at 9:05 in the morning. Activates us into the long, quickly stops us out for 15 ticks. Now, unfortunately, we get stopped out here by about 2 ticks. This thing reverses all the way and would have been a fantastic winner. So got a little, I don't want to say unlucky, but market didn't cooperate with me on that second session. I did take it in a much more reduced position size, so only three micros. And I'm doing that because obviously oil in February has just not been performing well. So I've been having much better numbers with gold, and I'm willing to take more position in gold. It's just, a strategy that as a trader you kind of have to adapt to with what the market is giving you. So hopefully that kind of makes sense as to what you saw in the video and kind of where my head is on those strategies. Now, looking at the Rob reversal, we have 0 setups so far. No activations, obviously. We had one real early, but I think we might have already talked about that one. This one was 5 o'clock in the morning, way before my market opened there. So not looking to even take that trade at all. I will leave the strategy running until 1:15 today and see if there's any trades that we can get. And I will obviously update everyone on that tomorrow. Another thing that I let so today we are up 309 on the eval, obviously $360 winner in gold, and then we took, I think, a $51 loser in oil on those 3 micros. Cash count is up today. Actually, the only trade I took was I took the gold trade with 1 GC, so 1 E-mini, and I am positive $360 on the cash account, which was great because we were down on Friday, so that helped out dramatically on that. Now, one other thing that I wanted to kind of let everyone know is that in Discord this morning, I stated that I purchased a license with Replicanto, which is a trade copier specifically built for NinjaTrader. I don't believe that it's available on any other charting program or platform. It is NinjaTrader specific, and it is a copier of trades. And I've never really dived into that in my eval accounts with Top Step. I've always just been trading one eval at a time, and I'm not necessarily looking to trade multiple evals yet, at least not to this point. But there are some strategies that I like to trade that if I can do them across positions, or I guess across charts in different accounts, that would obviously help me from just kind of going back and forth manually doing it from my cash to my eval. And I think that so far today I didn't use it, but at the same time I did have some orders that I at least put in there as pending, and very quickly came up on the other charts in my NinjaTrader. So, and the orders were right, the quantities were right, even what do they call it? There is a way to take, if you're trading, let's just say an ES contract, one ES contract, you can then reduce it down on another chart to, let's just say, one micro ES contract or two micro ES contracts. So they kind of have like a built-in ratio changer that you can do for different accounts and different positioning on those different accounts, which I thought was really cool. I will, if there's any interest, I'll do a video on that later, probably sometime next week, just because I would like to give myself some days on it. I watched every single video, every single instructional thing. I wanted to be 100% to understand the system and understand I guess you want to call it an indicator, but it's really not an indicator, whatever tool, the tool that they have and that I installed. And I feel very comfortable with it. It's actually very simple to use. So I'd like to see some trades being used through that, and then I can kind of comment on the performance there. Overall today, not a lot of movement. S&P kind of was ranging, and the NASDAQ, let me just pull up the NASDAQ here. A slight uptrend, but very difficult to trade in this. Yeah, I mean, you could make some moves here, but very difficult to trade in this. As far as in oil had a pretty much right from the morning session, had a really nice uptrend, and then now it's kind of just started to consolidate. And in gold, I know we originally dumped pretty good right at the beginning of my video this morning. Clear downtrend, and then again started to range toward the afternoon time. So that's what I got. 309, brought the eval into the green, which is fantastic. Again, I'll update you guys tomorrow morning if the 15-minute Rob reversal hits, but super excited with trading today. I will see you guys here tomorrow. Happy trading, everyone.